All right, welcome everyone. Super excited to have you all back. We're going to talk about social media today. Share where you're calling from today in the chat. I know we have Natalie who's here from Rhode Island. I saw Karina here as well from Qatar. We have a very international audience, so it's always so fun to see where everyone is from. So welcome everyone. So good to see you all today. We are in day two. I am going to post the agenda one more time in the chat so you can grab the agenda and I will share my screen and we will get started. If you were with me yesterday, you can probably already tell my voice is doing a lot better. So, yay, we're feeling good here. We're gonna make it through this call as well too. Yesterday, I'm recovering from a little cold because, of course, holiday break, of course, once you start to like have a little bit of rest time, your body kind of is like, okay, we need to rest and like come down with a cold. And with three kids, of course, all the stuff is always going around. So recovering from that, feeling much better today. So thank you all. By tomorrow, I think I'll be completely back to normal. So let's get started. We are actually on day two. So we're going to change that on the fly. We're not on day one, we're on day two, and we're talking about social media planning. This is our launch and plan year end mini challenge. Yesterday, we did our 2026 launch roadmap. We figured out what our top offers were. We figured out what your quarterly calendar is going to look like, what your launch calendar for the year is going to look like. I do have the link here. You can access that replay if you are a CRP member or in our certification program. I know I saw some of you guys in the chat already. If you can't make all of our live sessions or if you want the replays, you can always join us in our membership. We do have a special boot camp that's starting on January 1st. It's called our High Conversion Marketing 90-Day Boot Camp inside of Corporate Rescue Plan. So you get that in addition to all of our replays, and it's only $19 through the end of the year. So you can get that. I'll put this link in the chat as well too, so you can get access to that. That's going to close. That opportunity is going to close tomorrow because tomorrow is the 31st. So just make sure that if you want the replays or if you want to get into our marketing boot camp, that you join us before tomorrow. Also, many of you guys asked and wanted to support me on Substack as well. We had a Q&A at the end of the last session. And I shared, we were talking about, it was a really good Q&A. If you haven't watched yesterday's, at the very end, we talked about showing up, getting over our fear. And I told you guys I'm right there with you because I'm putting myself out there more, starting to do more writing again, about motherhood, purpose, and all the things. And so many of you guys were so nice to ask if you could support my journey on Substack as well too. I didn't have the link yesterday, but I do today. And so it's right here. I will get that in as well. Yes. Karina's spilling the beans as well. There is a book that I'm working on as well too. Stephanie and Natalie, yes, you guys both have access to, you're both members. Whether you're a corporate rescue plan member or you're in our certification program, you will have access to the boot camp. The high conversion marketing boot camp is inside of corporate rescue plan. So both of you guys I know are already members, so you will have access to it. You don't need to do anything different. But if you are not a member yet, you definitely want to get in there before tomorrow so that you can get access to our marketing boot camp. All right, let's get started. I did see Joy. Joy also said she is from Maryland, so welcome from Maryland, Joy. All right, thank you for your support, Natalie. You guys are awesome. Okay. Let's dive into day two. We're talking social media. Let me know in the chat if you already have social media accounts. Post your Instagram. Let's follow and support each other as let's get some new followers before we start the new year. How are we feeling about how are we feeling about Instagram, social media in general? Are you posting consistently? Are you kind of still struggling to figure out what to post? Today is all about kind of setting the intention for the year, giving you clarity on your content plan so that you have a repeatable content framework, a monthly rhythm that you can reuse all year long, and a content and social media plan that feels doable with real life. It's not about posting more. We really want to help you kind of set that intention so you can get out of the chaos, the hamster wheel of content creation and marketing and social media, and you know what you're going to post. Carrie says she's on LinkedIn. She's posting almost daily, loves that platform. You're going to see LinkedIn is one of my recommendations for the year, Carrie. So you're in a great place. Stephanie's on Substack, a beautiful vocation on Instagram, and Stephanie Howell on Substack. Awesome. We'll have to follow you after this, Stephanie. And Nicole is posting more consistently on Instagram, career.coach.nicole. Stephanie is also working on LinkedIn and Substack as well, too. Awesome. Okay, we're going to talk about all these specific platforms here today, too. I'm going to give you, if you're kind of like, where should I start? Like Karika says, I have no clue about social media. I have not posted in ages on LinkedIn. We're going to talk about that. LinkedIn is great, even if you haven't posted in ages. If you happen to be one of those people who has lots of connections from the early days of LinkedIn, you can always go back there and use your connections. And Vicky's here. She posted hers. She started posting. It's a bit haphazard. Um, and Natalie's feeling clueless. Okay, so you guys are all in the right place. No worries at all. Okay, so the most important thing, no matter what platform you're posting on, there are three content types that drive results. So I want you to think about your content plan in these three different categories. These are the only posts that you need to focus on. Keep it simple. So we have connection content. So your connection content is going to be your story, your mission, your why are you starting this, real life lessons you've had, you're sharing your values, your purpose, your mission, who you are, building that relationship, building that trust with people so that by the time they get on whatever you're doing to sell, maybe it's a sales call, a webinar, a workshop, a sales page, whatever way that you're selling, they already know, like, and trust you. They're basically already sold by the time they get on that call with you or on that page or that webinar. So that's the purpose of your connection content. So we want to make sure that's in your plan. Number two is your awareness content. So awareness is going to make someone realize that they need your product or service or they need to work with you. That's the type of content it is. So that type of content you're going to want to deliver content about mistakes that people are making in your industry, the common questions that you're getting, the frustrations people have, the myths that they have, maybe there's some mindset beliefs and challenges that they're facing. And this type of content, you're also going to post social proof, client wins, case studies, anything showing that you have supported and helped your audience. And if you don't have that yet, no worries, we can get that. We can start doing some practice calls, some practice, give away your products and services, get some social media, get some testimonials. Your awareness content helps your audience realize that they need help now. And so once again, by the time they get on your sales call, by the time they get on your webinar, your workshop, whatever way that you're selling, they already know, like, and trust you. They already are aware of some of the mistakes, the common questions, the frustrations. They've already seen your social proof. They know your product works. They know you're an expert. It's a lot easier and way more fun to sell that way when you're distributing connection content and awareness content. And then the third type of content that you want to put on your social media plan is you want to create video content. So if you are selling a product or service, once again, I've said this a few times now, we want to build that trust with people. We want to build a relationship with people. When people see you on video, hello, I'm here, I'm a real person, right? You trust me because you see me, I'm a real person. And if I, never showed my face and was kind of anonymous. Like, I trust me, I started anonymously, but now I show my face, I show my name, I put myself out there through video content, occasionally going live. We're live right now, answering questions, being seen, connecting with you all, talking about where you're from. I forgot to tell you where I am right now. I'm in Tampa, Florida, right? Like little things like this. We're like connecting, we're sharing, like, here's where I live, here's where you live, and we're building that trust and relationship through video and live content. And that's really the fastest way to build connection. And it shows that you're a real person, not just a content machine. I am not a content machine. I'm a real person. So those are your three types of content that are going to drive results. When it comes to creating your social media plan, this is a one-page little social media plan. I highly recommend you print out. You can even save it to your computer. You can type in here and edit it online. When it comes to creating your social media plan, instead of just being like, what am I going to post today? I'd much rather you spend time, even if you don't post for a week, spend time making this plan, figuring out where are your ideal clients hanging out online. A lot of you guys mentioned LinkedIn. There are a lot of ideal clients hanging out online. Figuring out like what is that last place that they look at on their phone before they go to bed? What are they? Sometimes, when you're in an airport, I kind of like to look around and like see what are people like while they're just sitting there waiting for a flight. Like, what are the social media challenge channels that they're looking at? You can also ask your ideal clients too, like what are your favorite, social media channels? Where are they online? And then which channels do you feel drawn towards? Which are exciting to you? I am not a TikTok person. You don't see me on TikTok. I'm just not drawn to it. I consume on Instagram. So for me, I'm more drawn towards Instagram. And kind of figuring out like what is the type of thing that you like to do? I like to write. That's why Substack is kind of like drawing me right now because I am a writer. I started a blog in 2010 as a writer. I started a blog. And so that is the kind of like the type of content I like to create. I like to create carousel posts and written content on Instagram. But if you like to create video content, there's YouTube. Obviously you can do that through Reels if you like to create video or TikTok. Those are all, or LinkedIn, obviously, as well, too. You can write on LinkedIn. Um, what channels do you feel overwhelmed and unexcited about? That's where I would put the TikTok on. My husband has always been like, you really should get on TikTok. And it's just been not been a high priority for me. We've tried here and there, and it just hasn't happened. And that's okay. We can't be everywhere. I think that's a big thing I want to share today is like you don't have to be everywhere. It's way better to learn and conquer one platform and spend time there and post daily and consume it. And then because that allows you to like really learn about it as well too. So we want to be excited about it. We also want to make a commitment and make it a priority to learn more about it. And then we want to have a strategy. We want to have a plan of how we're going to attract and engage fans on this platform. Now, you already have one strategy. You already know that you can create connection content, you can create awareness content, and you can create video content, maybe even do live content on some of these platforms as well. So that's you already know some of this stuff. You already know how to get started on the platform. So that's your social media plan. Filling that out, having that done and ready to go is going to help you feel like you have like a good solid foundation, a strategy for the year. And the next step then is we got to figure out what we're going to post. I'm going to teach you how to use ChatGPT to use to come up with ideas and come up with a strategy. It's going to help you move faster. It's going to give you ideas and inspiration. We're going to start with you, though. We're going to start with your passion, your experiences, your values, your purpose, your story. That's why I highly recommend doing this social media plan before we even like dabble into AI. I recommend having your launch strategy plan like we talked about yesterday. I recommend really thinking through your connection content, your awareness content, what you want to talk about, what problems you like to solve, how you can help people, what are those common questions that people are always asking you. All of this stuff is important before we ever touch ChatGPT. So you guys are now ready to use ChatGPT as an inspiration. This is going to help you if you feel like you're just kind of stuck staring at that blank screen. What do I post today? I'm not consistent in my posting. It's going to help you create kind of that higher quality content. It's going to help you create hooks. That's what I love it for. The hooks when my brain isn't working and it's really hard for me to create content because I'm tired. It's going to kind of help you create those hooks that people are going to really want to click on. Okay, so the first step then is figuring out your foundation. You want to ask yourself, what are you pointing people toward? What is the fulfillment here? What is the problem that you're solving? What is your product going to be? What is the problem that product solves? Like I said, AI cannot do this part for you. We have to know where we're actually going to be sending people to. We talked about this yesterday when we talked about having a core offer. And then maybe that's like a digital product, maybe that's a course, a one-on-one coaching program, a group coaching program, a book. There's so many different options, membership site, online course. I think I already said that, a workshop. All of these things are paid things that you can sell. And so we want to know where we're going to send people and what that problem is that you're going to solve. That's going to, if you're struggling with social media and you don't know what your fulfillment is, what you're going to be selling, that's probably part of the problem. When I know what I'm going to sell, it makes social media and marketing so much easier. Are there any questions so far? I just want to stop and just make sure that you guys don't have any questions. I saw someone ask for, okay, so let me share the document again. That is a really good idea. Here's the agenda. If you came in late, you can't see above what I post. Oh, Natalie, you already did. Thank you, Natalie. Okay, you're helping. Um, okay, you guys are all good. Okay, I don't even need to stop because you guys are helping each other. That's what this is all about. Okay. So what is it? Let's share with us in the chat. Like, what are you selling? What is this? What is all of your marketing? What is all of your social media going to be pointing towards? And if you don't know, that's okay. Just know that that's step one. And that's like really figuring out, like, what am I called to do? What am I called to sell? What is the purpose of that I'm selling people? What do I enjoy doing? What is that first product that I want to launch in Q1? Okay, so once we know that, once we know where we're sending people to and what it is that we're selling, okay, Vicky's going to do one-on-one coaching. I love it. Super clear. The second step, and Vicky's been with us in Corporate Rescue Plan, so I know she's done the work as one of our members to get really clear and confident in what she's going to be selling. Okay, next step, target market. We have to know who our target market is. So you're going to fill in these blanks here. My target market is blank, who want blank so they can blink. I help them blink so they can have blank. I am a blank for blank and I help them blink. So you get the picture, right? Like we really have to know who those people are, what they're struggling with, what their challenges are. Kind of think through that. If you've done any survey data before, that's great to get the kind of like real words that your clients are struggling with. I always start with this. So keep in mind, I have still not put anything into ChatGPT because I am figuring out what I'm selling and I am figuring out who my target market is and what they're struggling with, what their challenges are, what their goals are. Now, once we have that, we can write really good prompts. A lot of my clients, I think it might have been you, Karina, has say like I get really good responses in ChatGPT. And that's because I have really good prompts. I provide ChatGPT with a lot of information before I ask it to do anything for me. And so that's really important to provide ChatGPT with the right content first before you ask it to create a year of content ideas fast. So then the next thing, Karina says, Honest GPT is so good. So the next thing is we're going to just start with this prompt. Here's the prompts, Karina, so you know. You can say, please share 26 common myths, problems, challenge, frustrations, tips, and how-tos people have about blank and getting blank. So whatever that market is, whatever, obviously if you're a career coach, which is something I know a little bit about, I would say, can you please share 26 common myths, problems, challenges, frustrations, tips, and how-tos that people have about changing jobs and getting new careers or launching coaching businesses or, whatever that market is that I'm going to be targeting with my end product that I'm going to be selling. So from there, I have 26 of these challenges. This is your awareness content, right? Like this is what I was talking about, these challenges, the frustrations, the tips. And then I can ask it, can you generate 14 social media ideas centered on the first question? So say it says, one of the mistakes that people have is they start updating their resume without knowing what career they actually want, right? So that's one of the mistakes people make. So can you generate 14 social media ideas centered on this one challenge that people have, this one mistake people are people are making, including a curiosity-driven hook, a subheadline, 3 lessons, and a summary. And that's going to give you, so that now we have 26 topics that we can talk about all year round and 14 different social media ideas. That's 364 days of content, and you now have a full year content plan. Now, if you're like me, you're not going to follow it exactly. But I like to start the year this way. I like to start the year with a ton of ideas, a ton of brainstorming already done, so that when life gets busy, I already know next week is going to be so busy. I look at the this week is like nothing. Next week, everything starts again. It's going to be so busy. There's so many things happening next week, and I'm already a little bit like, how am I going to get it all done? But because I have this, if I have, just the 10 to 15 minutes time in my calendar, in my schedule, and I have this plan done. So what I will do is I will take what ChatGPT spits out, I will copy it into a Google Doc just like this. And that's my Google Doc. Sometimes I'll print it, sometimes I'll just keep it digitally. And that's my Google Doc. Anytime I have my 15-minute social media time, I'll go to that document, copy and paste, edit it, revise it based off that day, based off, improve it if I see that it needs to be improved. So I'm not taking it exactly how ChatGPT gives it to me. I'm taking that as a jumping off point to revise it, improve it, make it my own, give me an idea when I only have 10 to 15 minutes and I am a little bit frazzled and overwhelmed and I don't have, I don't have like that like hours of focus time to create social media. I just have 15 minutes. So this helps me kind of get that jump start basically so that I can post something in that 10 to 15 minutes and continue to help and support one person every day. Because we talked yesterday, that's how you get over the fear of the social media is you focus on helping people, impacting people, serving people, and just helping one person every day. So there you go. You got 364 days of content. So you can help one person every day. Um, Amber says, may I ask where you store your content ideas or posts that you want to plan out? Okay, I answer your question without even knowing it. So yeah, that's what I will do. I don't store stuff in ChatGPT. It's hard for me to find old things in ChatGPT. So if I'm creating like this annual content plan, I will create a brand new Google Doc, share or just on my drive, and I will label it. I haven't done this yet. I should do this today because I'm teaching you guys. I will label it 2026 social media plan or 2026 social media content ideas. And then I will paste what I get from ChatGPT and I will paste it into the Google Doc. The other thing that you can do that I like doing is asking ChatGPT to create a PDF for me. And so that way, it creates a PDF and I can just save the PDF to my computer or I can just print out the PDF. And then I have it. And then I carry a clipboard around with me. So anything important like that, I'll just put in my handy dandy clipboard of like way too many papers. Right now, I need to go through that. And that's kind of like all my annual plans on this clipboard, my 90-day plan. My Christmas card address list is in here, all the things, my checklist, all the things are on this clipboard. So, printing it out, I mean, if you're a pen and paper person, that's really good, just to print it out, but you can also just do it digitally and kind of create, a Google Doc checklist as well too. Um, I'm looking for a calendar view if you have any recommendations. Asana, I've used Asana before. I love Asana for organizing. Like if you have a big project, you could definitely put this into Asana. It's free. If you have under 10 people on your team, it's free. But they have like a calendar view that's really good to track. Like you could put your whole social media calendar. That's actually a really good idea. Maybe I'll do that. You can put your whole social media calendar and then you can like check it off as you go. This is really good if you have like an assistant, if you're working with like a virtual assistant. This is what we used on our team for many, many years when we were like all international and everyone was all in a different country and it just like really helped us get organized and work on our social media when there's a lot of people touching your social media. So I like Asana. That's probably the one that I would recommend other than just like a simple Google Doc checklist. Natalie says, is there a time of day that is better to post, number of times per week? So this is where we are gonna start posting when works best for you. You're gonna test it out. You can post some in the morning, some in the evening, some in the afternoon. Your analytics are gonna tell you when your audience is online. And so if you can just get started, the hardest part is just putting it out there. What time works best for you, right? Like it's just kind of get consistent there. And then you can look back because then you have data and you can look at your analytics and you can see, hey, this was the time, this is when most of my audience is online. Um, and then number of times per week, I mean, if you can do 3 per week, if you can do, I'm going to show you here in a second. I have a calendar, three posts per week. One, your connection content. Two, awareness content. And three, some sort of video, live video, pre-recorded video, something to build trust in a relationship with people. That is a really good starting point. That's super easy, especially now that you have all of these content ideas available to you and starting to get consistent and into that routine. Obviously, the more you can get to like 5 times a week, the better. If you can, I don't even do daily. I can't even, I try, but I'm not even doing it 7 days a week. There are days that I don't get to it. But I definitely am posting 5 days a week. Vicky says, you inspired me to get a clipboard too. Yeah, you should get like five. I have like, they're all over our house. Clipboards are our favorites. They have one in Canva. Okay. Awesome. Okay. So then the next part, so now that we have this year of content ideas, now we can start to create some captions. We can start to create some scripts. So this would be like, okay, here's my 15 minutes of social media time today. I'm going to go to my ideas. I'm going to pull one out. And now I'm going to, and you can continue to work with ChatGPT as well too. Like, here's what I'm going to post today. Help me add this to it. Help me add this to it. Here's some ideas. Here's some things I want to change and include in it. And this can become a post, a reel, a video, a carousel text, and also like talking points as well if you're doing any sort of like video content as well. You want to make sure there's a hook in there. You can have ChatGPT help you with that. 3 to 7 tips, encouragement, and a call to action. You can do this daily. This is what I'm doing lately. Sometimes in my life, I've been really planned out well ahead of time, and I can just batch my social media a week in advance. Today, I'm kind of on the daily, every single day, finding that time block in my calendar where I'm going to be posting it. I actually like doing it daily. One, because I'm doing what I teach, which is I'm helping one person every day. But then I'm also giving myself that time as that short amount of time. So if you can even like set a timer, don't get distracted once you're on Instagram or wherever you're posting. If you can set a timer for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, it actually forces you, okay, I'm going to do this fast. I'm going to get this out. It's not going to be perfect. It can be imperfect. That's totally fine. But in the next 10 to 15 minutes, I'm going to publish something rather than just thinking about it. And then you can have that at the same time every day. Most of what you see me doing on Instagram, it's going to cycle through these categories. There's going to be some educational content, some inspirational content. It could be like quotes, personal updates. There's going to be promotional posts as well too. If I have like a challenge going on, a promotion going on, I'm going to also be promoting social proof, testimonials. This works. Here's this video of a client. And then I'm going to be asking questions. I try and ask questions and do polls like practically daily because that encourages engagement as well. Now, every post you also want to make sure that you're commenting and liking on at least 10 other posts. I know that sounds like a lot, but social media is about networking. We don't want to just post and ghost. You want to get involved in the community, meet other people, meet your ideal clients as well too. The only way I would say you don't need to network on social media is if you're running ads. But if you are not putting the money in to run ads, you need to put the time in instead to get in front of that audience and to be networking online. And this is why you need to love the social media platform that you choose, is because you're going to be spending time on it, networking on it, commenting on it, seeing other people's posts on it as well. So here's my tip for you. Try finding your ideal client on Instagram. If Instagram is where you want to focus, it could be on LinkedIn. You can use the same sort of networking strategies, but my example here is for Instagram. I want you to find your ideal client, and you can find them by going to a similar account to you. Like maybe it's your competition or someone who has a similar audience as you do, and go to their followers or go to the people that are most recently liked their posts, and you can find your ideal clients that way. Like three of their posts, comment on one of their posts. So find your ideal client, try it today. Find an ideal client, someone who you'd want to work with or who may be interested in your products. Like three of their posts, go to their profile. They have to have a public profile. That's okay. Go to their profile, like three of their posts, and then comment genuinely, not just hi, but like do a genuine comment on one of their posts. I guarantee they're gonna come check out your account and maybe give you a follow as well. If you have your bio and everything all filled out, if it looks like a really great account to follow, they're gonna check you out and follow you too. So the last step then is to pick one platform, post daily. For 2026, this is what you've been waiting for, what I recommend. I recommend Instagram. I recommend LinkedIn. Those are my same for 2025. For more of the long form content, I recommend a YouTube podcast or blog. So I would pick one of those. I either do videos on YouTube, create a podcast, or have your own blog if you'd like to write. And then I highly recommend a weekly email newsletter. And we, over this last year, switched to Kit. It's been working great. If you're interested, my husband helps people set up their newsletters on Kit as well, so he can have a call with you and see, if Kit's right for you. But that's what I would recommend. Those are really important for 2026 to own your own content and your own email newsletter. Don't rely on social media or other platforms to grow your brand. There you go. There you have it. That is my recommendation. Pick either Instagram or LinkedIn. If I were you, pick one or the other. You can have both, and post similar content on both, but they're both are very different. So you want to pick one of those where you're going to like dive in, try and post as much as possible, learn as much as possible, do the social media networking as much as possible. That's why we can't be everywhere, because there is a lot of time involved in just one social media platform and really learning it. And then pick YouTube, podcast, or blog, and then commit to creating your weekly email newsletter as well too. And block 10 to 15 minutes a day for creating your content. This is a habit. We're not going to scroll. We're going to create our own content. I mentioned in the beginning, I am focusing on Substack in 2026, but here's the key. It is one of my marketing channels, but that is in addition to my blog, my podcast, and my own email newsletter at Kit. So make sure, I saw some of you guys saying you have Substacks too. Just make sure you own your own platforms and you're building your own SEO before you put too much attention on Substack. I do love Substack. I've just been using it for 4 days. And I do recommend it if you like to write. I just don't want it to replace your email newsletter or your like your blog or your own podcast on your own website. But if you already have like your lead magnet set up, if you already have a website, if you have that structure down, if you're already have an email system like Kit set up or like Flowdesk, then Substack is a great opportunity. So my marketing channels for 2026 are my podcast, my email newsletter, Instagram. I put LinkedIn on here. I don't know if I'll have enough time, but I do want to get back into posting there consistently. Facebook and Instagram ads, lead magnets, and Substack. And then our sales channels for 2026. So this is like, we're going to talk about this tomorrow, like how we're actually going to be selling our sales calls, free webinars, paid workshops, sales pages, mini free 3-day challenges like this one, and email marketing as well. And then we recommend just kind of rinse and repeat the same monthly content rhythms. So if you wanted to plan out your whole year, You could do the first week of the month could just be all awareness content. So that could be news, trends, mistakes people are making, myths people have, just making people aware of why they need your product and service. The second week of every month could be connection content. That could be your story, your behind the scenes, your mission, your values, your story is about why you're doing this. Week three could be testimonials and social proof, and then week four could be Q&A, go live. And then monthly, we recommend having like a challenge, a webinar, a video series, giving something away for free as well too. So I'm going to take a sip of water and show you two little bonuses I have for you. All right, so the one bonus I have is a monthly planner example here. So this is like a monthly template. You can print this out. And it has, if you wanted to do, you could do like every Monday. This is what I usually do with my clients is every Monday we do like connection content. Every Wednesday we do awareness content. And then every Friday we do kind of like that video content. And this is really easy. If you want a calendar for January, I would just use this. I think it was Natalie that asked how many times per week, what type of content, just use this. This gives you kind of some good like scripts to kind of get started and to give you an idea of like how you could do your first month of social media. I also have an editorial calendar. So if you do, and by the way, you can make a copy of this, make it your own. If you like Google spreadsheets, Google templates, you'll like this because you can start to plan out the month. So if this is January, you can start to plan out like what you're going to be posting on the first week of the month. So when are you going to do your Instagram reels? When are you going to do your Instagram stories? What are you going to do if you're going to do Facebook? And you don't have to do all of these, like for TikTok's on here. I'm not doing TikTok. So you can delete and just make this work for you. It could be LinkedIn. If I'm going to do this, I would add my weekly Substack post in here, my email newsletter, all of those like, priorities for me, my podcast. And you can edit this and make this work for you and then do this one for each month before the month starts. And that way you kind of have a plan for the month before you go into it. So those are some planning tools that you can use. Always recycle content that worked before. Always batch your content. Always leave room for creativity and intuition. Block out time for inspiration. Too much planning kills creativity. So I definitely post when inspired. I think that's why I like to post daily. My content, I just like to be more inspired when I post, not feel like I have to plan 5 posts in a row, and that kind of sometimes leads to overwhelm. Um, Also 2026 tip, cross post. So if you're doing a post on Instagram, you can also post that on LinkedIn, that kind of thing. Like you can cross post your content. I know all of my content on Instagram also posts on my Facebook business page as well. That's done like automatically. So that's a way that I can simplify and systematize my social media. There's a simple rhythm, clear purpose, consistent action. So I have time for questions for you guys as long as my voice holds out. So post your questions right now. Tomorrow, we're going to put it all together. So everything we've done on day one, now in day two, tomorrow is going to be about creating your Q1 plan, your 90-day marketing strategy, so you can start 2026 with confidence, not burnout. So tomorrow, we're going to put together your 90-day marketing plan. There's going to be a simple marketing rhythm that you can sustain. You're going to map out your 90-day calendar. We're going to figure out when your money moves are going to be, when those, strategic marketing launches are going to happen in your first 90 days of 2026. We're going to give you our 90-day marketing plan, and that's happening tomorrow, Wednesday, December 31st at 12 p.m. Eastern. Now, remember, if you can't make these live sessions, all of the recordings are available for our members and our certification students. And so you can go here, you can get the recordings plus access to our brand new high conversion marketing 90-day bootcamp that's happening inside of our membership. For only $19, you can get started. And that link I will post in the chat as well too. That is going to close tomorrow because we are going to start we're going to start January 1st, is when the high conversion marketing boot camp starts. And so if you want to get into our high conversion marketing boot camp over the next 90 days, and build out all of the conversion strategies that we talk about. So this kind of goes through what we're going to cover in the marketing bootcamp. We're going to talk about kind of setting up your foundation first, setting up your marketing plan, setting up all of the marketing activities, the marketing activities that convert. And then in February, we're going to talk about systems. We're going to talk about how to use AI and lead capture so you can start to have content that converts into sales. And then in March, we're going to talk about sales, conversion, scaling. So we're going to talk about, some machines, some systems you can put into your business. We're going to talk about sales strategies, flash sales, sales scripts, my weekly calendar when we're doing lots of sales as well too. So you can see kind of behind the scenes as well. So that is what's happening. Get inside. Make sure you get in there before doors close tomorrow. I know a lot of you guys are already, if you're already in CRP, post CRP in the chat because I've seen a lot of familiar names in there as well. So if you guys have any questions, now is the time to ask those questions. Okay, let me go up here, make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, Karina says, do you recommend posting live or scheduling it? I usually post live. I usually don't worry about the exact best time. If it's a good time, especially because I'm now on the East Coast. So when I post, it's usually a good time for the country here. So I know like Karina, you're in Qatar, right? So you're gonna have to deal with time zones. I know when we were living in Europe last year, I would post like right before I went to bed. So it was like 10 o'clock in Europe, but it worked really well because that was like mid-afternoon here in the US. And so figuring out kind of like it wouldn't have worked. I never posted when we were in Europe. I never posted first thing in the morning because that would be middle of the night, when I was when for people for my audience in the US. So obviously you got to figure that out. Now that I'm East Coast, I'm like, whenever I'm up and I'm posting, it's usually a good time. It's like usually an okay time for me to be posting as well. And so you definitely can schedule it ahead if you want to batch your content and schedule it if that works better for you. Just because my main platform is Instagram, Instagram just kind of works better when you just post it at that time. And then people like, if it's stories, people can kind of watch it over the next 24 hours. And so I usually am just, posting when I can. We're busy, right, Karina? I know you're busy. We're busy moms here. We post when we can. I'm not, that's how I do it. So, Amber says, do you not like Facebook? Sorry if I missed that. I did not talk about Facebook, Amber. You are right. Good catch. I don't actually really love Facebook anymore. I used to love Facebook groups. The Classy Career Girl Network Facebook group, we put so much time and effort into that for many, many years. And the reason I don't like Facebook as much anymore is because, and even Facebook groups, if I'm posting in a Facebook group, hardly anyone sees that post. And especially if I have a Facebook group, I had a Facebook group, still do have a Facebook group of over like 20,000 people. When I post, it's very, very, it's like under 100, even less than that sometimes, would even see that post. And so, yeah, that's why I'm not a huge, huge fan. Facebook pages are still important. I do, and this is just what I think. Do whatever you want. I'm just telling you from my experience because I've been doing this since 2010. So I've seen the rise of Facebook groups. Facebook groups were great when like your Facebook group saw your post. Those are your people and they see your post. But if Facebook's not letting people in your group see your posts, and it's a lot of work for those people not even to see them. Facebook pages, I think, are important. I do recommend having a Facebook business page. What works best for us is our Instagram page is automatically connected to our Facebook page. So anything I post on my Facebook page, class, or on my Instagram page. Sorry. Anything, let me repeat so I'm clear. Anything I post on my Classy Cruel Instagram page is automatically reposted to my Facebook Classy Krugle business page. So I'm not manually posting anything on my Facebook business page. It's just being posted because it's just set up automatically. And you can do that same thing. So that's just one way I'm reducing when I say use cross posting, use systems and tools as much as you can and things to save time. Batul says post every day or do a story every day. If you're doing Instagram, yes, highly recommend if you can to get that story up every single day. And then the carousel. So thank you, Batul. That good clarifying question. So I recommend 3 posts a week if you can get those 3 posts up. If you're talking Instagram, if you can get that daily Instagram story up in addition to your post, that's gonna give you the best results. Okay. Karina says, I'm focusing on writing more in 2026. A lot of us are. Are there any courses or books you recommend on I used to write weekly for my blog? I want to get back into writing more. Um, what I've realized, I don't know if you necessarily need a course or a book. You just need to actually write. So you and I know this, right? We used to write a lot, and I think what has happened with all the social media, all the distractions, obviously the kids, all the things, it's hard to find the time I used to have before kids. When I used to write a lot, it was before kids. It's hard to find, that focus time. So I think that for me, it's more about like finding that time for what I've been doing. And my plan for next year when it comes to finding time to write is there's going to be I have time in my calendar so I know when my writing days are going to be. My writing block is going to be I'm going to take my daughter. She tried out for a play on Tuesdays, so I'm going to be driving her, and she has, I think it's like a 3-hour practice every Tuesday, and it's near like a Panera and a Starbucks. So in my plan is every Tuesday afternoon when I take her to her drama class, I'm going to go and I'm not going to do any other work. The only work I'm going to do during those, couple hours that I have is going to be writing. And so that's like, figuring out a time where you can kind of shut out the noise, shut out all the other things on your to-do list, because there's like 30 other things I should be doing, but it's hard to put writing as a priority. And then you can kind of get into that space. Sometimes at home, it's like you got to do the dishes and I got to clean the house. And it's hard to feel like writing because you have this like weight of like house stuff on your brain. So what's been working well for me is like knowing there's a set aside time every Tuesday. I'm gonna make progress, and I didn't even when she had tryouts, I did it, and didn't I hardly even had an hour, but I made progress. I made a lot. I did the outline of my book, and I felt like I had made huge progress just because I knew I had blocked out that time. I knew I wasn't gonna do anything else during that time. So, yeah, I don't know if there's a specific course or book. I think it's just getting back into the writing daily and setting that as a commitment for the year and getting excited about it too. Maybe join me on Substack, Karina, because that's been helping just kind of having a new place to write as well too. Okay, Natalie says this is perfect. Nicole says it's so helpful. Thank you. Amber says that's a great spreadsheet. Natalie, okay, you guys are liking this. Awesome. Vicky says, if we are in CRP, are we in that boot camp too? Yes, if you are in CRP, you get our next 90-day boot camp. So, Vicky, the last 90 days we did the Magic Income Streams boot camp. So I had to come up with another boot camp for you guys this next 90 days. So Q1 of 2026, it's the high conversion marketing boot camp. So we're going to be talking about marketing, which I feel like you guys are really ready for. It's like it's kind of marketing, marketing, marketing. It's time to like really expanding on what we talked about today, right? Social media, now really working on our marketing. Yeah, so Alyssa said, I was just going to ask that same question. So yeah, we'll send an email with a link to the high conversion marketing bootcamp when we go live on Thursday. Yes, there was a separate document for today's call. So let me get you that, Brenda. If you missed it in the beginning, there's the agenda for today. And Nicole's in CRP, Alyssa's in CRP. Yes, yes. Pat says, will any of the marketing bootcamp help with or be geared toward recruiting to my team, please? Yes. A lot of it will be. I mean, most of the marketing bootcamp is going to be great for any type of industry or business. Um, all of it. I mean, all of marketing is what we're trying to do with marketing. And this is a really good kind of way to bring it all back together from what I talked about in the very beginning of this call, too, because the goal of marketing is to build trust and build relationships with people so that by the time they get on that decision-making call to make that sale, to join your team, however, if you're doing like a conversation, or if there's just going to be a link that you send them with like a sales page so that they can click that email and join, whether it's an email that they, click and join through, whatever it is that you're building to, whatever that goal is. Marketing is all about building trust and relationship. By the time they get on that sales call with you, we want them 80 to 90% sold. And so the work of marketing, again, let me repeat, is to build trust and relationship with people doing the different types of content that we talked about today. Nikechi, good to see you. How do you get so clear Zoom videos for your computer? And your sound is great as well. Wow. Well, we switched internet, so that might have helped because we were having some struggles last month. Um, Clear Zoom videos. I don't know if there's a specific thing that I've done besides yeah, I don't know. I think maybe John. Oh, well, I should put John on that answer because he helps. We do have, so I have like a camera and I can link it in our Slack, Nikechi, because I know you're still in there, right? I haven't seen you on Slack, but you should still have access because you're one of our career coaches in certification. So he has, and I'm looking at it right now. I have like a camera up. I think that's what the answer to your question is I'm not using my computer camera. I'm using another camera that he bought. And so it attaches to like the top of my screen. Um, so that might be what you want. I know we just got on Amazon, so we can send you guys the link. Um, Amber says, where do you have community? Just your membership. Our community is on Slack. And so all my clients, we have like a client hub and it's on Slack. And so and your question about, we used to have it on Facebook, but I've moved away from Facebook because the same thing, I had a Facebook group of all my clients and my clients weren't even seeing my posts. And so, I think this was a year and a half ago we switched, actually for CRP, it was just more recently as well. But yeah, all of my clients are in Slack. So we have Slack channels. I have a Slack channel for all of my corporate rescue plan members. You can ask questions in there. You can post feedback. We celebrate each other. You can find accountability in there. And then I also have a Slack channel for our career coaches and then for our alumni, our certified career coaches like Nikechi as well too. So that's kind of how, as a coach, I stay organized. I don't go back and forth on email with my clients. Everything is just kind of in that client hub, which I love. So yeah, that's where our community is for Corporate Rescue Plan. Natalie says, can you recommend where I can find support with building my brand, as in creating it, fleshing out what I want to be known for? Natalie, I would recommend going through our content inside the membership. So either in Corporate Rescue Plan, you would start in the beginning phases, phase 0, phase 1. That's going to really help you get that clarity. And then also, I know you're in certification too. So like the beginning phases of certification, we have a new cohort starting in January for certification. So just starting in those early modules and, the orientation module 1 as well too. If you are going through certification, I always recommend just focusing on the certification modules. But you do have a little time before we start because we're not going to start till end of January. So you do have time to go through Corporate Rescue Plan, those first phases, because there's phase 0 to phase 5. And so phase 0 and phase 1 and phase 2 of Corporate Rescue Plan are those good phases to really build your brand. We do branding in phase 2, create your brand, all of those things as well. Um, Okay, Nikechi says I'm gonna look into Substack because I love writing. It might help with long form content. Yeah, Nikechi, come join us on Substack. Natalie, yes, she asked, do we have access to the previous bootcamp? Yes, for members and our certification students. It is in the membership site. I posted the link in our email today. I also posted it in Slack too, and I'll post this in Slack as well, so you'll get it right away. And it's on our recordings page. Actually, it's on the link to the recordings to yesterday's is on the agenda that I put it right here, available for CRP members. If you click that, that will take you to this page, so you'll be able to see our upcoming calls and challenges. And then it's funny, Nikechi, that you said, like, I actually felt like yesterday's training was a little blurry when it started, and then it got clear. So I wouldn't worry too much. If your training does seem like it's a little bit blurry, I wouldn't worry too much. You know, you can always like upgrade the quality. I also have a microphone. I'll have John post in Slack all of our tech stuff that we use, because I do have like a lapel microphone that worked really well when we were traveling. Now I have my nice little, you can see it here. I have my nice microphone back that we had in storage. And so very happy to have that one back as well. But yeah, so it's not just using just the laptop. You know, John did set me up with like the equipment. So that is probably why we're having a little better audio and a little better video. Totally worth it. Okay, let's see. You guys are asking great questions. Kids are gone, so I have time to answer them. Um, okay, Alyssa says, I'm going back to do it again. I want to commit to getting this thing launched. Awesome. Exciting, Alyssa. Adele says, I joined live, missed the agenda. If you could kindly share, that would be great. Thank you in anticipation. So everything is available on the membership site. So you can access all of the videos in that link that I just showed you there. So you can access all of the videos, and then right under it is the notes and the agenda as well too. And then if you're not a member yet, you can always join us. Like I said, it's $19, and then you also get our high conversion marketing bootcamp that starts on Thursday as well too, and that closes tomorrow. So just make sure that you get in there. I'll post that link one more time as well too. Yes, in these trainings, I try and give you guys as much as I possibly can, and all my links and tools and templates and everything too. All right, awesome. You're so welcome, Nikechi. Let me make a note. I'm going to share in Slack our the tech links. Actually, I'm going to have John share those because I don't know what any of it is. Natalie says Anchor is a good brand of camera. Thank you, Natalie. Betty says, I've not been able to access the corporate rescue plan dashboard. Please help. Okay, great opportunity for me. Great question. Support at classycareergirl.com is where our team, I posted that right there. That is our email address for getting any sort of support if you have any issues with the membership site, if you have any issues with their credit card, any of those things, any tech issues, just email our team at support at classycareergirl.com. I'm really good at marketing questions and career questions and social media questions. I'm not great at support questions. That's why we have a team who can be able to support you and help you. So email them, Betty, and you can also, if you can't get to support at classycareergirl.com, you can always just hit reply to any of the emails I send you. I'll just make sure that they get to support, and I will make a note, Betty, to ask the support team to make sure that they see your email as well too. All right, Amber, you said Slack app. Oh, not a free community. No, so I have a client hub. So all of our clients in our membership and in our career coach certification program are in Slack. So that is, if you are a coach, I highly recommend having like one place you go. You don't have to like go back and forth by email. You just go to one like Slack and everyone is there. That's super fun. Betty joined in November. Awesome, Betty. That means you'll have access to our next 90-day program as well, the Marketing Bootcamp, and all of our calls that are happening. Okay, So CRP first, then I get invited to the late January cohort. So Natalie, you're already in our January certification cohort as well too. Um, so yeah, if you have time, you definitely can go through CRP, but the modules for certification are always there for you too. So you can get started in all of the certification stuff. Now I know we have some of our members, I don't know if they're here today. We have Kathy and Madonna who are in certification for our winter cohort, and they're already getting started and already going through the videos and doing their practice coaching and getting up to, making progress too. So you're more than welcome to join them, Natalie, and kind of get ahead and start to go through those beginning modules as well. That would be probably the best place to get started because you're already in certification. So just starting on those modules and then doing the branding that way. You're welcome, Vicky. She says, thanks, Anna. Love all the templates and guidance. You're so welcome. Amber says, hope you feel better soon. I feel fine. I just sound terrible, but I feel good. Did you say the boot camp starts Thursday the 1st? Yes, we will get it started the 1st, but if you're not available, don't worry. The 1st is going to be we always start our boot camps with some sort of like pre-work, getting started. So that's what we'll be doing on Thursday. But I know I will be out of pocket on Thursday. We're actually going to be babysitting another whole family on Thursday. They're all coming to our house. So I will not be doing any lives on New Year's Day. It's going to be a crazy day here. But you will get an email with us with the first video. So there will be a light pre-work, but nothing crazy. You can always catch up later. No worries. Nally says, take care of yourself. Thank you for your generous spirit and really helpful tools and support. You are so welcome. You are so welcome. Thank you all for being here. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, same time, 12 p.m. Eastern. Celebrate the last day of 2025 together, and then we'll get started with 2026 all planned out and ready to go. I hope you guys are excited for your businesses in the new year. I'm excited. I'm very, very excited for 2026. I hope you guys feel organized and planned out and clear with all of our training that we've provided and been able to give to you guys. It's all still available on the membership site too. So if this week is slower for you, dive into CRP, dive into all the training, go to that recordings page. You can get access, to the planning resources, the planning workshop, all of those things that we have, so that you guys can feel clear and ready to go. Okay, awesome, guys. You're so welcome. Everyone's like, thank you, thank you. You're so welcome. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Great work, great job. And we'll see you guys over on Slack. Bye, everyone.